If you're building a software company or an agency like Hireframe and you find yourself in the fortunate position where you're acquiring customers even at a faster rate than you had planned for, you might need to make a customer onboarding hire. Time to value, net revenue retention, usage. If these things are important to you, stick around. Hey, I'm Mike Wu, co-founder and CEO of Hireframe. In this video, I'm going to break down what customer onboarding specialists are, 3 different types of onboarding specialists so you understand which one is the right one for your business, and lastly, how much a customer onboarding specialist is going to cost you. At a high level, a customer onboarding specialist is the bridge between your sales team closing the deal and your customer actually experiencing the value from your product or service. They're the ones that make sure that your customers don't sign up, get confused, and end up not even using your product. But here's the thing, customer onboarding specialist as a job title covers a lot of ground. It can lean more success, support, or get very technical too. So let's talk about each of these 3 profiles. The customer onboarding specialist that fits more into customer success is more sales-oriented, more relationship-oriented. They run kickoff calls, train your customers on your product, and ultimately align the onboarding with your customers' actual goals. They're involved with expansion and retention. They're measured on things like time to value, how quickly can you get your customer their first win using your product, net revenue retention, and usage. If you're looking for a onboarding specialist with a more success-oriented nature, look for folks that have success backgrounds or backgrounds in sales or training. The second type of customer onboarding specialist is the support-oriented onboarding specialist. This type of onboarding specialist is more reactive in nature. Think frontline, someone who's answering questions, unblocking things, and helping customers get set up. KPIs here are response time and customer satisfaction scores. Good candidates for a support-focused onboarding specialist can come from all different kinds of backgrounds. Folks who come from customer support roles, working in contact centers or help desks, and bonus points if they come from your industry. Third is the more technical customer onboarding specialist. The technical onboarding specialist spends her time configuring tools, mapping data, and more being tasked with training AI. KPIs for a role like this could be setup accuracy and time to technical go live. From our experience at Hireframe, the best fitting candidates usually have a background in product support, systems integration, and implementation. One quick note on these 3 different profiles. At smaller companies, we see these kind of bundled up into one role. This blended role reports directly to one of the co-founders. But at larger companies, not only do we see these as distinct separate roles, but they typically report to an onboarding manager. Let's check out the job descriptions of 2 open customer onboarding roles.
The first one here is Eve. Looks like it's a legal tech platform. All right, here's the juicy part. What will you do as the customer onboarding manager? Implementation support, customer training, solution optimization. So what is Eve looking for in their customer onboarding role? They're looking for success experience. Fantastic. They're very specific about that. Technical aptitude. Let's see what they're looking for. Understanding of SaaS platforms and ability to explain technical concepts to non-technical users. I'd love to dive into this a little bit more. I'm kind of curious how technical this role really is. I'm looking at their preferred qualifications. Let's see what they have here. Doesn't look like they're looking for someone technical. This looks like a success-driven role. While they need to be able to explain technical concepts and non-technical people, I don't think that this person has to be like an engineer or someone from tech support or someone from systems integration. The base salary in the United States is 90 to 110. On the higher end of what we've seen, we saw like an 80K median, but that's probably because this is a manager level role. This next one is 8am. It's a business platform to help legal, accounting, and other client-focused professionals run stronger, more profitable businesses. And this is also a onboarding manager role. Let's check out what they're looking for. So what will you do? They actually have quite a bit of information here. So customer onboarding. This is really understanding the customer's need and aligning the onboarding to their business outcomes. Be available. I think this role has a support nature to it. Customer satisfaction is obviously very important here. This looks like a success and maybe more of a support type onboarding role than the Eve role. So yeah, just an example of customer onboarding roles that a couple different companies are hiring for right now.
So what else is happening in the customer onboarding job market today? First, job titles are kind of all over the place. We see the typical customer onboarding specialist, customer onboarding manager, but then we see things like client success specialist, which actually is more attuned to what we're talking about. We see things like LLM or CRM onboarding specialist, very specific job titles. These job titles look very different or can look very different, but the job usually fits within one of these 3 buckets that we're talking about. What we see is that the roles and the job titles are heavily customized depending on the company and its vertical. Second, 58% of the jobs that we reviewed are jobs at software companies. Tech companies are the primary industry where they're hiring customer onboarding specialists. But we also saw many onboarding specialist roles for consulting firms in the legal space, the hospitality, and medical space. And third, two things drive up the cost or the salary expectations of a customer onboarding specialist. One is the technical nature of that role. Does the onboarding specialist need to know how to code? Do they need to have an IT or systems integration background? And the second thing that drives the salary expectations up is the sales responsibilities of the onboarding specialist. Do they own upsells, expansions, and renewals? The median salary offered for a customer onboarding specialist role in the United States is about $80K. So if you're looking to invest in your customer onboarding experience, take a moment to think about what your actual needs are. It might be specific to your industry. Are you looking for someone more support-oriented, success-oriented, or someone very technical in nature? This will determine who you target and how you evaluate them in the interview process. If you're looking to hire a customer onboarding specialist, but you want to skip the guesswork, this is exactly what we do at Hireframe. We place vetted remote customer onboarding specialists, and typically at a discount of 50 to 70% compared to US counterparts. Check out the link in the description if you'd like to discuss your company's hiring needs.